Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays YouTube channel throughout social media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour and give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. So let's beat the cappers, get right to the picks. So we don't mess around here on the drive-thru. Let's say hello to David. David, what's going on?
Not much, Tony. It's been a really solid 4 months for me, but the last week or so, no bounces are going my way. It's been a rough few days. Hoping to get back on the right track tonight.
Let's bounce back in the right spot indeed. Let's say hello to Damon. Damon, what's up?
How you doing, Tony? Hard to believe college basketball season's over already. It was quite a national championship game. There's a ton of action on the board tonight, and looking forward to talking with you guys about it.
Yep, we got a lot of action today on the board today. NBA, of course, surprise, right? Malone, no one's safe in the
Mike
NBA.
Malone.
Right, Malone gone right there. Boy, oh boy. Although I will say that he does complain a lot about the organization, and I always wondered, that's going to come back to bite you, and may have there because losing players, not replenishing the players he wanted, losing veterans for rookies. But that's how it works in the NBA, right? You win a championship, they pluck some of your vets, and you got to restock with the rooks. And you can't crying about management isn't going to work in this league, any league for that matter these days. All right, so let's get to the games today, guys. Start with the NBA tonight on this board. We're running it down. Right, Sunday is the last day of NBA here for the regular season before we get into the postseason rounds here. So we'll start here with NBA. We'll get the odds up for you right now. So we'll run it in 3 blocks here as we've got to get the graphic set for the NBA. We've got graphic up there for the hockey. So let's get the NBA set to go here, and we'll knock out the NBA here in 3 blocks tonight. So let's roll here with it. We start here with this Bulls and Cavs game. We see the Cavs are favored 14.5. Now it's total 238.5 in that one. Next up, Hawks and Magic. An important game because these teams are battling for home court in the 7-8. We got the Magic 4.5, total 226. Then we got the Grizzlies and Hornets. The Grizzlies 14 on the road, total 229. Let's take a look at the injury report here for these series of games here on the Bulls side. A laundry list here: no Ball, no Giddey, no Werder, no Jones, no Vucevic, no Kobe White out there for Chicago. Mitchell will be out there for Cleveland on the game here between Atlanta, Orlando. Capella, Nance topping out. Orlando has a clean injury report. Memphis and Charlotte pulling out. Baugh and Green out there for Charlotte there. So we got you covered here. We get this one underway with David.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to take the Bulls here with the points. I just think it's a little bit too many. I know the Cavs are 3-0 against Chicago this year. They have that top spot in the East pretty much wrapped up here. Bulls have won 3 in a row. They're still trying to secure that better playoff position, as you mentioned there, Tony. They're 12-4 against the spread the last 16 games, and the Cavs are just 1-7-1 against the spread their last 9 home games. I think the Bulls can keep this within the number, so I'm going to take the points with Chicago in that one. And then taking a look here at the Hawks and the Magic. I like the Magic here. They're 1 game up on the Hawks here for the 7th seed. But the reason I like the Magic because of the defense. Atlanta has given up their last 7 opponents have scored at least 120 points against them. I just think in the end it's going to come down to that defense. Orlando's going to get enough stops, and they're going to cover that number.
Yeah, from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to David.
Yeah, I completely agree about the Hawks Magic. Orlando's defense has been fantastic pretty much all season, and you look at Atlanta, they just are like anti-defense, not a big defensive club. So I'll take Orlando, especially at home, laying the small number. And I'm looking at the Grizzlies and the Hornets. This is a tough one. Obviously, any game involving the Hornets is tough. How many points you're getting on a nightly basis and how poorly the offense is, but I am going to take the Hornets with the points here at home. I just feel like 15.5, where it's sitting at right now, is just a little bit too much. I know, like I said, the offense is really struggling. They're only shooting just over 43% from the field, which is just horrific. But Memphis, they are coming off 2 road wins, one against the Heat, one against the Pistons, by slim margins, but still pretty solid wins there. I just don't see them covering 16 points here on the road, so I'll take the Hornets.
Yeah, from David, yeah, I agree. I'm going to look at the Charlotte here, plus the points. Memphis failed to cover 13 of their past 16 Also, I'll be the one on the Atlanta Hawks in this one. I like the Hawks. They've been a pretty good road dog this season. Matter of fact, 15-6 of the spread is road dog of 3.5 to 9.5 points. They do sit one game behind the match for that 7th seed. Orlando here, I guess I with them with their offense, right? It's Bancaro and Franz Wagner, and who else is going to score? That's the issue I have with Orlando. Is they just can't seem to get in that scoring from the supporting cast. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we continue here with the NBA for tonight's action. So next up on this block will be Wizards and Pacers. Pacers 19, total 236. Pelicans and Nets, we got the Nets 2, total is 213. Celtics and Knicks, the Knicks 1, total sits here at 222. We'll take a look at the injury report here for these block of games. All right, we look at that game between Washington and Indiana. For Washington, Bay, Brogdon, Coulibaly, Holmes, Middleton, Vucevic out there for Washington. Shepard only out for Indiana. In the game between the game here between New Orleans and Brooklyn, Boston, Hawkins out for New Orleans. On the Boston side, we have Cameron Johnson, and we also have out in this one Keon Johnson for Brooklyn. Russell and Sharp as well out for the Nets. Boston and the Knicks here. On the Knicks, on the Boston side, Horford out. Funny was that he was in San Antonio for that championship game yesterday for Florida. Now he's out today. Tatum, Porzingis, Brown, questionable. White, Holiday, probable for Boston. On the Knicks side, we have Porty out. McBride and Brunson, they're probable for the Knicks. So we get this one underway here with Damien.
Taking a look here at the Knicks and the Celtics. You mentioned all those guys with the Celtics, unsure of whether their status is going to be. But I think this game's going to be high scoring. Boston's a deep team. Even with, like the guys like Tatum and Brown out, you bring in guys like Pritchard and Hauser. They've shown that they're definitely capable of putting up the points, but they're not nearly as good defensively as like a guy like Brown or Tatum. So I think Boston will be able to score the Knicks. Obviously, Brunson getting back in the fold. They're really more run and gun this year than they were last year. I like this one to go over the total.
Yeah, from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to David.
Yeah, I'm also looking at that Celtics-Knicks game here. I'm going to take a shot here with New York at home. I just feel like some of these questionable players for Boston are going to be out. You alluded to it with Horford. I do agree that is quite the coincidence about what he was doing last night and not playing today. But I just think New York with Brunson in the lineup can get past this Boston team. Even if Boston is close to full strength, we've seen them at times lay some eggs in some questionable spots this season, especially. We've seen them just not as focused as they have been in past seasons. But especially dealing with some injuries and some of these guys sitting out, I definitely like New York here to get the win at home.
From David, tell you what I think here about these games. I agree there. I like the Knicks here in this spot. Not a whole lot here to play for Boston. They're going to likely be the number 2 as just the magic number 1 for Cleveland to win that East. They could win it tonight here, beating a shorthanded Bulls team. So I'll look at them in that spot. Again, why play the questionable guys when you don't have to when you're going to be locked in as a number 2. Looking at the Knicks in that spot here. And also look at the Pelicans just based on shooting form, nothing more than that. They're just in the better shooting form of these two teams. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. We'll close out the NBA with these final 4 games here on the schedule. So we'll get them for you right now. All right, so in this block, we've got Timberwolves and Bucks. We've got the T-Wolves at 5.5 now, total 222.5, as that battle for the play-in round is intensified in the West. We've got Lakers and Thunder. Thunder now down to 9.5. It was a lot more than this before. Total 230. We got Warriors and the Suns. The Warriors here 9.5. Total sits 227. Spurs and the Clippers will close out tonight. The Clippers now up to 13. Total 228. Let's take a look at the injury report here for these games. Minnesota, Milwaukee. Just Shannon questionable for Minnesota. On the Milwaukee side, we got Lillard and Sims out. Connaughton questionable. Giannis will be probable in that one. Lakers and OKC. We got Kleber and Hachimura out. Vincent, Reeves, James, Finney-Smith, Luka are now upgraded to probable there for LA. Remember, LA in the front end of a back-to-back. Lots of teams on back-to-backs tomorrow, by the way. On the OKC side, Dang, Dukas, Mitchell out. And we have the bad Jalen Williams questionable. Golden State and Phoenix. Peyton questionable for Golden State. Durant still out for Phoenix. Richard probable. Spurs and the Clippers here. We have Sokan out for the Spurs. Coffey and Lundy are out there. Leonard's still the question mark. This is the front end of a back-to-back for the Clippers. Ironically, the Clippers are playing, 2 back-to-backs right in the past 5 or 6 days. Leonard did play in that back-to-back last game, right? That was the first he's done all season, kind of in that Dallas series. Iffy here for Tuesday. There's speculation that he may sit here and then play tomorrow. That's all speculation. Nothing. Knowing Kawhi's injury history, will he play 3 games in 4 nights? That's a lot to ask for him. Might come off that back-to-back, and then boom, here's a game a day later. So keep an eye on Kawhi. Still questionable. They call him iffy right now. So let's get this one underway here with David.
Taking a look here at Oklahoma City, the Lakers. Now, I'm going to lay the points here with Oklahoma City. I know, they have nothing here to play for, but they're coming off that loss where the Lakers just crushed them. Oklahoma City's a young team. I think it means something to these guys. They don't want to go into this game thinking the Lakers have their number. They could meet up in the playoffs. I think it means something to them. I think they come out and play hard. And you mentioned them back-to-back. Now, tomorrow you mentioned that back-to-back. That game is against Dallas. So that definitely has a little bit more meaning than it would have prior to the Luka trade, obviously. So Oklahoma City gets up. That Dallas game's going to mean a lot. Maybe the Lakers start sitting some of these guys. So I'm going to lay the points here with Oklahoma City. I think they come in pretty motivated in that one. And taking a look, the Warriors and the Suns. I like that game to go over the total. Phoenix is offering absolutely nothing defensively the last – I believe they're on like a 6-game losing streak. They've averaged giving up about 129 points per game during that losing streak. To top it off, the Warriors are coming in a little bit ticked off. They scored just 96 points against the Rockets, and Curry had a really bad night shooting. So I think that gets the Warriors going. And Phoenix can score. They still have capable scorers there with Booker and Beal. So I think they're able to put up some points. I just think the Warriors really put up a whole lot, and that's going to go over the posted total.
There from Damien. Next up, we move on over to David.
Yeah, looking at the Spurs and Clippers, anytime the Spurs are playing, I take a long, hard look at the over. They're just not a very good defensive team. You look at what they've done really all season, but even just in the last few weeks, consistently allowing about 120 points or more. Obviously, we don't 100% know who's playing for the Clippers, but I still think they'll have no issue offensively here in this one. So I like that to go over the 228.5. And then Timberwolves and the Bucks. I'm going to lay the points here with Minnesota. I don't love that it's just keeps going up. It's 5.5 right now for Minnesota. Was 3.5 yesterday night, but I just think Minnesota has way more to play for. I do think they're the much better team. Even with Giannis in the lineup, we obviously know Lillard's not in there. And like I said, Minnesota, these games mean so much to them as they're fighting with 4 or 5 different teams to stay out of that play-in round. So I think Minnesota comes out strong and covers it here.
There from David. Tell you here what I think about these games. We'll get them up here for you right now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to touch that Laker game. If you wanted the Lakers, you should have got them at 14 this morning. Don't take the 9.5. That's just a bad move there. I agree with the over in Golden State and Phoenix. This Phoenix team has played horrible defense of late. Look at the past 5 games. They've given up 57% shooting, 48% from 3. I mean, gee, that's just horrible defense there. Golden State is 12-6 in the over on the road in their past 18 away from home. Warriors in very good shooting form. I like the over in that game. I'm going to lay it with the Clippers. This is an important game for the Clippers, as we talked about in this West race here. Between the 4 seed and the 8 seed, all of these teams in the 4 and 8 seed have 32 losses. So that's Denver, Clippers, Warriors, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, all 32. Lakers have 30. If they lose a game today, they go to 31. And who knows what happens there. But anyway, as we speak here now, 5 teams tied. I always say tied for 3rd. I say tied for 8th. They're all tied for 8th there in the Western Conference. So you can't afford any losses here. And I think the Clippers is a team that through tiebreakers sit at the 5th seed. But that's all it is. But some of these teams are going to be playing each other, and we're going to see some teams fall. But I think the Clippers here in a give me here against a eliminated Spurs team, I would look at them in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we turn our attention over to Major League Baseball. 12 games remaining on this card as we had some afternoon action today. So we'll do 3 blocks of 4 from Major League Baseball. So I'll get the graphic up for you right now. So let's get to Major League Baseball now. Do it 3 blocks of 4 today. So let's get it going here. Major League Baseball. We'll start here with Cardinals and Pirates. Skeens Day for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh $1.40. Total sits at 6. Next up, we move on over to Dodgers and Nats. We got the Dodgers $1.74 on the road. Total 8.5. Blue Jays Red Sox. Red Sox $2.08. Total sits at 8. And we'll close this block with the Rays and Angels. The Rays here, $1.69 until 8.5. We get it underway here with Damien.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Pirates here against the Cardinals with Skeens on the mound. Cardinals, it's early, but they are 0-4 on the road so far this year. Skeens looked pretty sharp to start the season, and in his career against the Cardinals, it's a total of 20 and 2/3 innings pitched, and his career ERA is just 1.31. So obviously, he kind of has the Cardinals number here. Sonny Gray, he's pitching pretty. He's piling up the strikeouts, I should say, but he's giving up the runs. He's allowed 7 runs in his 11 innings, and he's given up 3 home runs in 11 innings so far this year. So I think Pirates here to play with Skeens on the mound, definitely.
There from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to David.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Getting Skeens at a halfway decent price, it's creeped up as the day's gone on, but definitely Skeens at a decent price is always a solid play. Angels and Rays is in this group, right, Tony?
Yes, it is. Yes, they are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at that one here. I'm looking at Tampa Bay. I'm going to lay the run line here, the -1.5. It's pretty simple. I just don't believe in Kyle Hendricks. I know he had a decent outing that first time out. I forget who he was going up against, but he wasn't terrible, which was refreshing to see. But I'm not a believer in him. I know Tampa Bay offensively not a great team by any means, but Shane Baz on the mound for them. He's always been a solid pitcher. I think he's due for a really big year this year. He pitched very well in his first outing. No earned runs over 6 innings. I think Tampa Bay runs away with this one here. So I'll take the run line with the Rays.
There from David. Tell you here what I think about these games here. I'm going to look at the over in the Dodgers and Nationals. LA has hit right-handers better. Nationals have hit the ball well at home. Struck 9 homers in 6 games. Although their bullpen has been hampered for 22 runs in 21 1/3 innings. I don't know how deep Lord's going to go into this game. Good Lord, he's going to need help out of that bullpen that has been absolutely trashed this season. LA against these good home run hitting teams, 35 and 16 to the over on the road, facing teams that average 1.25 home runs per game or greater. I'll look at them. I'll look for the over LA and Washington again. I'm looking at the Angels. I'm not a big fan of the Angels, but they've shown a little bit of offense. And again, the home run ball, 11 homers over their past 5. Hedrick showed a little life in that last start there. And we're looking here at the Rays, 227 over their 5 games, and their bullpen over the past 5, giving up 7 runs in 14 2/3. I'll look at the Angels in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Next 4 from this block will be Phillies and Braves. The Braves $1.10, total of 7. Twins and Royals. Royals $1.19, total 7.5. We now go to the Rangers and Cubs. Cubs $1.51. Total sits here at 8. Patrick Corbin Day for Texas. That's right, he landed in Texas. I don't think he had much spring training, but heck, when he's had spring training, it hasn't been very good. So maybe this will change his fortune. Then we move on over to the next game here. Wait here, let's see what we do today. Oh, here we go. Orioles and D-backs. We got the Orioles $1.07, total 9.5. We get this one underway here with Damien.
I'm going to take the Phillies in this one. You're getting Zach Wheeler, their ace at even money here. Braves just 1-8 on the year. They have just 24 runs total in 9 games. I know Chris Sale is obviously coming off that Cy Young award-winning season here, but the Phillies have shown that they're a lot more patient at the plate this season than they were last season. They're actually the best in the league right now at chase rate, something they didn't do last year. You definitely saw that last year in the playoffs against the Mets. Anything that was thrown up at the plate, they were swinging at. They've shown a lot more patience at the plate. They got their ace on the mound, like I said, and this is a chance for them to obviously you can't win the division here in April, but they could really put the Braves in a bad spot. Just 1-8. They're expected to be one of the contenders. I look for the Phillies behind Wheeler here to get the win.
There from Damien. Next up, we move right on over to David.
Yeah, I definitely agree in that spot as well. Phillies off to a great start. The Braves just a disaster so far, and yeah, getting Wheeler at just about plus money is something you can't pass up. But I'm going to look here at Baltimore and Arizona. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks here on the money line. I know both pitchers struggled in their first outing. Kelly, or first 2 outings, I guess. Kelly has pitched in 2 games. One was against the Cubs early. That was an all right start. Second one was against the Yankees, 9 earned runs over 3.2 innings. Charlie Morton's going for the Orioles. He's allowed a combined nine earned runs in his first 2 starts. And I don't believe in Morton. I do think Merrill Kelly's a pretty solid pitcher. I think he'll even out. But I don't see Charlie Morton having a ton of success this year, and especially against a lineup like Arizona. Both teams right at that 5-6 mark on the season. Arizona's actually lost 3 in a row, but I think their offense jumps all over Morton here, and I'll take Arizona to get the win.
From David, tell you what I think about a couple of these games here. I agree with the Philadelphia side here. Atlanta, as you know, lost 8 of 9. They split that 2-game series with the Marlins on that Saturday. They were shut up by Miami on Saturday. That was not a good sign whatsoever. Their bullpens allowed 15 runs in 28 2/3. Wheeler has been impressive. So I'll look here at Philadelphia. Matter of fact, the Braves here, when lined at home between these coin flip prices, plus 125 to minus 125 the past couple seasons, just 10 and 17, losing 9 units. I'll look at them. I'll look at Philly in that spot. Like KC at home against this Minnesota Twin team. Minnesota hitting just 184 in their 6 road games. KC has hit the ball better at home. Matter of fact, the Royals bullpen has put better numbers at home. And you look at KC against these poor scoring teams from the AL that averages 3.9 runs per game or fewer. They're 14-1 at home against these poor offenses at home. So I'll take them in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we get ready here for the next series of games. I'm going to go backwards a little bit because I skipped this one. Brewers and Rockies here. We got the Brewers $1.55. Total sits here at 9.5, and then we'll skip on to the Astros and Mariners. We got the Mariners here $1.37. Total sits at 7. And of course, we got the Giants and the Reds here. We've got the Giants here $1.27. Total 7.5. And our friends in their shelter, homeless athletics dogs here. We got Padres $1.26. Everyone's look at that total. It's coming down. We got some of those streak busters trying to break the streak here. Total of 8. So we get this one underway here with David.
The first game here, taking a look at the Brewers, the Rockies. I'm liking this to stay under the total. Freeland and Peralta coming off some pretty nice starts here to start the season. Freeland 5-2, 2.06 career ERA against Milwaukee, and Peralta in his 3 appearances at Coors Field in his career just a 1.50 ERA. Neither of these offenses is really off to a super hot start, so I like that one to stay under the total. And then taking a look here at the late game, I like the Reds against the Giants. I know the Reds offense hasn't really been doing too much this season, but they just shut out the Giants last night 2-0. Their pitching staff has really been great. Lodolo, 2 solid starts already this year, including a win over the Giants earlier this year, 3-2. The starter for the Giants, Raup, just 3 runs and 4 innings pitched in his only start this season. And that was against the Astros, and the Astros' offensive numbers aren't very good this year. So, like I said, I know Cincinnati's offense has been struggling a little bit, but I think they definitely have the advantage on the mound in this one, and I'll take the Reds.
Yeah, from Damien. All right, next up on over to David.
Yeah, this Padres Athletics game. Yeah, it's gotta love the totals at this new Oakland, or I guess Athletics place here in Sacramento. But I'm going to take a look here at the Padres to get the win, sitting at minus 135 with Cease on the mound. We've seen the Athletics really struggle at home this season. They've allowed 5, 10, 7, and 18 runs in their 4 games. They're 0-4 at home. Meanwhile, San Diego's absolutely rolling, obviously sitting at 9-2. Cease off to a pretty solid start, whip just above 1. I like San Diego to get the win there. And then Houston and Seattle. I'm going to take a look here at Seattle sitting at minus 135. We're even on the run line at plus 160. I know Valdez, there was some question about if he was going to make the start today for Houston. He's dealing with an illness and some fatigue, they said. Fatigue and a sore throat, to be exact. So he may be off. Obviously, probably didn't keep up with his off-day routine. So and he struggled last time out. I think he got, let me bring it up here, he got shelled, I think, last time out. He had 5 earned runs against the Giants in 5 innings. So I know Seattle's offense is just very inconsistent. You can't count on them, especially at home, but I like them to get the win here today.
Yeah, from David. All right, tell you here what I think of some of these games here. Rockies at home dog. I'm all in here with them. I like them here. Plus 140. Rockies once again hitting the ball well at home, 306. Brewers bullpen has allowed 36 runs in 40 in the 3rd innings. You look at Peralta as a road favorite of minus 125 to minus 175. 8-16, losing 15 units Freeland has been sharp to start the season, so I'll look at the Rockies here at that big plus price. And also here, I'm going to look at the over at that ballpark that the game flies. We've seen the bullpen for Athletics allowing 18 runs in 16 innings in Sacramento. Athletics have hit the ball well in their night game, so I'll look at the over in that one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we'll switch on over to the NHL for tonight's card. Let's get to the games here. We'll cover in this block, we're just going to cover the 707s, just the 707s in this block. Features here the Senators and Blue Jackets. Senators $1.08, total 6. Maple Leafs, Panthers. We've got the Panthers $1.60, total 5.5. Blackhawks and Penguins. Penguins 202, total 6.5. Continuing here with the Devils at 235, total 5.5 against the Bruins. We've got Red Wings, Canadians. Canadians $1.34, total 5.5. Hurricanes and Sabres. Hurricanes on the road 243, total 6.5. And we'll stop it right there. That'll be the next game on the block. We get this one underway here with Damon.
Yeah, I kind of like it. The last one there that you mentioned, I like Buffalo as a big dog. Carolina is definitely the better team, but since they've clinched, they really haven't been playing too good of hockey right now. Buffalo has won 4 in a row. They're going to be at home, and we're getting really nice plus money with them. So I like taking a chance with the Sabres in that one. And I like Toronto as well on the road against Florida. The Leafs 8-1-1 over the last 10, playing some really good hockey. Panthers have lost 5 in a row, and they're just 2 points up now on Ottawa in that wild card. Ottawa has the wild card. They're 2 points up on them. And, it's an important game for the Panthers, but I just think the injuries are really just taking their toll on them until they get healthy, some guys back. I got to go with the Leafs who play some really good hockey right now.
Here from Damien. Next up on over to David.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the Sabres over the Hurricanes. Buffalo might be one of the worst teams in the Atlantic standings, but you look at what they've done recently. I think they've won 7 of their last 8. They're scoring a bunch of goals. I think they scored 5 goals or more in 4 of their last 5 or something like that. I think it's great value. We saw Carolina stumble against Boston and looked horrible against Boston and Detroit over the weekend. So, yeah, Buffalo sitting at plus money, or if you wanted to take the plus 1.5, I think that's right around minus 110. So I think that's a solid play as well. And then looking at the Bruins and Devils, I'm going to take the Devils here minus 1.5. I just think Boston isn't a complete free fall. Obviously, they did beat Carolina, like I just said, but outside of that, they've really struggled over the last month. Traded away some pieces at the deadline. They still have Pasternak, but beyond that, just not a ton of goal-scoring options, and we've seen that they've scored 2 goals or fewer in most of their last 10 games. This Devils team has won 3 straight. New Jersey's not really playing for anything, which is definitely a concern. They're pretty much locked into that 3rd seed in the Metro, but I just think they're the much better team here. We've seen Boston really struggle on the road, so I'll take the Devils minus the 1.5.
There from David. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Close out the NHL here with the following games here on the board tonight. We've got Canucks and Stars here. We got the Stars, $1.93, total of 5.5. Islanders and Predators. Here we've got the Islanders $1.13 on the road, total 5.5. Hockey Club at hosting Kraken. Hockey Club $2.23, total 6.5. Big one tonight on ESPN. Golden Knights at the Avs. Here we've got the Avs $1.39, total sitting at 6. We start this block off here with Damien.
Take a look here at Utah. On the puck line. I know the Kraken had a big win last night against the Kings in LA, where the Kings never lose. But the reason that they're such big dogs here is they're absolutely horrendous on back-to-backs. They're actually 0-11 on back-to-backs this season, and 10 of those 11 were by more than 1 goal, and 4 of them were shutouts. So obviously they don't perform well on back-to-backs. They're traveling to Utah, so they're going to be playing in elevation. So give me the Hockey Club and lay the puck in that one.
There from Damien. All right, next up we move right on over to David.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Utah there. Believe it or not, they're still in the playoff race. They're not going to get in. They're going to be eliminated here any day now. But they have played well down the stretch. You looked at the last couple of weeks. They've been okay. But, yeah, this Seattle team, while they have won 3 straight, they are horrible on back-to-backs. And their goaltending situation, I think they'll have Grubauer in net. And he's just been awful this season. His goals against average is 3.53, 87% save percentage. So I definitely like Utah there to cover the puck line. And then looking at Vancouver and Dallas, I'm going to take Dallas on the puck line as well, plus 130. They're still in pursuit of Winnipeg for that first spot in the Central. It was only, I think, 2 or 3 points a couple days ago. Winnipeg's extended it back out to 5. But this Vancouver team has just offered very little resistance this season. Every time you think they're going to catch on fire and go on a run and try to make the postseason, they can't get it done. And goal scoring's been a big problem. 2 goals or fewer in 3 of their last 4. They have played decently well on the road, but Dallas is 28-8-2 at home, one of the best home teams in hockey. I like them to cover the puck line.
There we go from David. All right, we got you through the NHL for tonight. Now it's time for our Parlay Perfect segment where our cappers give out a parlay, give out a player prop, team prop, up to them. Also, game of the future. Let's get this segment underway here with Damien.
I'm going to give you a little bit of something from all of them here. We're going to take the Magic, lay the points against the Hawks. We're going to take the Phillies against the Braves, and we're going to lay the puck with the Utah Hockey Club. So parlay those 3 together for a nice payout.
Yeah, from Damien. Next up, over to David.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Sabres at plus 215 on the money line. I'm also going to take the Phillies on the money line. And then in the NBA, I am going to take I just had it here. Where'd it go? I'm going to take the Hornets and the 14.5 at home.
Yeah, from David. Tell you what I like. I like the over in Suns and the game tonight between the Suns and, I believe, let me get that right, Suns and the Warriors. They're going over. I like the over in Dodgers Nats, and I like the over in Pods and Athletics. All right, we got you through our parlay segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Pick Dog Prim. Head into a big week of action here from NBA and more. We'll take a look and see what Damien's got rolling on over at Pick Dog Prim for tonight's action. Of course, Damien put together a really good year in the NBA. Damien, what you got for sale?
Yeah, on a really nice run here in the NBA. Won 19 of our last 25. I've got a 3-pack in the NBA for sale on the site, or they're all for sale individually as well. And I have my Major League Baseball play for sale for just $19. You can get that by itself, or as I always say, though, my favorite is the long-term plans where you can get a couple extra plays if you pick up either a 3, 7, or 30-day plan. But definitely the best way to go is team me up with one of these other great cappers here on the site. 2-for-1 capper deal. Put both of us to work for you where you get the most bang for your buck.
Very good. Get on board with Damien over at Pick.com. That's right. Long-term pass the way to go. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. Let's see what David Racy has for sale over at Pick.com. We see David over the past 12 months approaching 1,600 units of profit, all documented.
Yeah, it's been a good few months for me. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's been a rough couple of days. Every 50-50 bounce has just not gone my way. But look to bounce back here tonight. I think I have 8 plays total across the MLB, NBA, and NHL. But long term is the best way to go, especially with me. I'm a higher volume type of guy, probably one of the higher on the Pick Dog site. So head on over, check it out, or pair me up with one of these other guys. But either way, let's cash some tickets.
Cash some tickets. David Racy over at Pick.com. You see the great results from David, all documented. You can verify those numbers. Just go to David's Handicapper page. Pick History will show you all the plays and get signed up to one of his one-day passes or those long-term passes and use the promo code PICK to save that 15% off. I got a best bet on the board right now at Pick.com. Hit 7 straight. But with the Florida hitting yesterday with my $19 premium best bet, so looking to continue that momentum. Also a 3-pack in there mixing NBA as well as baseball, so get on board. I got 4 premiums on the board. Plus my best bet sold separately, so get on board. Or you get the long-term pass. You guys like that 7-day pass early in the week. Get all of my premium plays for that 7-day period. When you get on board, match me up with your favorite cappers. When you get that multi-capper promotion, you can match me up with both David and Damien on that multi-capper promotion and get on board. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're with you here, guys, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, be live with us. Just want David to let everybody know about David. He writes for us as well on the sites. Let them know about your written content, David.
Yep, you just head on over to either site. Right at the top, you hit free pick or free picks, and then click on whatever sports you're looking for. You'll get a write-up from me or any of the other writers. It's a great spot for trends. We have a great trend system that we can pull from. Great spot for stats, recent history, all that good stuff. So head on over, check it out.
Check it out with David Racy over on the websites there. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back again live tomorrow here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so tune in. Anybody have anything to say before we close it out? All right, guys, make it a winning day. When we goodbye, guys. You guys make it a winning one.